The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Revitalizing downtown on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the beautiful Senior Botanical Garden in Kernersville. We'll tell you more about the garden later on, and later on is when the roundtable shows up and we'll get into all sorts of controversial topics with them, so stay tuned. Lots of good information in store, some great guests, and where we want to start though is talking about revitalization. And we do it with some good buddies of ours, and you've seen both of them on TV a lot before. Hank Henning, of course, is manager of local government community relations for Duke Energy. Zach Matheny is president and CEO of Downtown Greensboro, Inc. Welcome, guys. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Hank, the Duke Energy Foundation has a special grant program for revitalization. You emailed me about it one day. We were talking about it. What's the mission of that program, and how much money is awarded typically?
Yeah, so back during the pandemic, when everything was shut down, we noticed that our Main Street partners, our businesses along Main Street, the backbone of a lot of our communities, were suffering. And so we created, through our Duke Energy Foundation, a program to give them support. So what we do is we partner with great organizations like DGI, Downtown Greensboro, Inc., and give them, they have to apply for it and go through a process,
right,
and be awarded a $25,000 grant that they will then give to the small businesses in the form of micro grants.
Zach, we'll get into some of the details in just a second, but just let's share with the folks in case they don't know. What's the mission of Downtown Greensboro?
Yeah, the mission is exactly like Hank said. We want to create a vibrant place for people to come live, work, and play. And that's most any urban center. And so that's what we're trying to do in downtown Greensboro.
Now, Hank was talking about the grants, and he said $25,000. Okay. But I was also reading that you, with the DGI, are going to match that. Now, why was the matching necessary, and how did that come about?
You know, I'll tell you, Jim, it wasn't necessary. It's something that we felt was the right thing to do. You know, small businesses are really the backbone of the community, of the country, of our workforce, our economic impact. And so the generosity of Duke Energy, we felt was terrific, and we wanted to reach as many businesses as we could. We had 85 applicants.
Wow.
85. We were able to reach about 20 businesses through our match and theirs. And so hopefully we can do it again next year.
Now, if I'm one of those small businesses that received some money, how will I spend it?
You know, we had anywhere, Duke Energy had great criteria, first of all, but we had businesses that focused on technology. We had businesses that focused on, they took a closet and made it a new retail space in which to have takeout food. And that's Chez Jeunesse downtown.
Right.
We had the Abbey work on outdoor. There's not enough outdoor dining in downtown Greensboro.
Okay.
And so they worked on a patio. And so it was anywhere from infrastructure, technology, to beautification.
Wow. Before we wrap up, Zach, how would you describe to viewers the overall health of, and I'm talking about economic health, of Greensboro, downtown?
We opened up 22 businesses last year. The year before, wow, in 2023, we opened up 23. And so due to the Tanger Center and a bunch of other things, the economic vitality right now is continuing to surprise me in a great way.
And to wrap up, Hank, what kind of feedback have you guys received at Duke Energy and the Foundation and everything about giving these grants out? What kind of feedback do you receive from guys like Zach from different downtown areas and small businesses when you give them this money?
Yeah, so when we started it during the pandemic, we didn't know that it would continue to go, but the popularity of it and being able to partner with organizations like DGI has just really been received very well, and it's just been the interest and that has kept it going.
Yeah, important to you guys too to have that kind of support, right?
And the ability to pass it to the small businesses, you know, to keep them alive. You know, it's tough. They're playing against, you know, not only big boxes, but apps. You know, people can easy to shop on apps.
Oh, man.
The local authenticity of the small businesses, our neighbors, we need to support them.
Don't worry, Zach. I still have a flip phone, and I don't know what an app is.
Perfect.
Up on the screen, downtowngreensboro.org is the general website for Zach's organization, which does fine work for a lot of great folks. Downtowngreensboro.org. Please visit that, learn more about it, and of course, duke-energy.com, duke-energy.com. To both of you, thanks for what you do to help a small business.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
You know, it's hard to believe the Safe Sober program has been going strong for over 30 years. And over 600,000 students have made the pledge to stay safe and sober on prom night. You know, Griff, it's had a huge impact on our community.
Yeah, you're right, David. And now we're making sure the message continues year-round.
So everyone can join us in supporting our students.
Learn more and take the pledge at safesober.com, sponsored by Daggett Schuler.
Back now on Triad Today, a number of times over the past year or two, we've talked about heart disease and preventing it and treating it, and we do that with a special guest. First-time visitor to the show, Dr. Brian Laff. He's a cardiologist with Novant Health Cardiology in Kernersville. Welcome, Doc. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Now, how common is heart disease? Before we get going, just tell me that.
Heart disease is very common. It's one of the most common diseases that we see contributing to medical morbidity and mortality in the country.
What kind of, well, we didn't rehearse this for now, I'm just curious, can you name a couple of things? What are the common things you treat with heart disease?
Right, so most commonly would be what everyone knows of as heart disease would be heart attack.
Right.
Heart attack is very common. Stroke is very common, although in cardiology we tend to send stroke patients to neurologists, but it's all a part of the same disease process.
Yeah, and all connected and everything.
Yeah, atrial fibrillation and
when your heart goes out of rhythm.
Yeah, all very, very common.
What are the symptoms of cardiovascular disease in general? Can you give me a couple examples?
Yeah, so the symptoms of cardiovascular disease in general are typically what everyone hears about, which is chest pain.
Right.
And when cardiologists say chest pain, we don't just mean pain, we mean discomfort in the chest.
Okay.
Pressure, heaviness, the elephant sitting on the chest that you may have heard about.
Right, right.
But also knowing that there are certain age groups, elderly, certain patients, especially with diabetes, and also women that may experience cardiac chest pain or cardiac heart attacks differently, meaning it may not be the chest pain. It may be more of a jaw tightness or arm pain, left arm pain.
Wow.
Nausea, sweating, those types of things. So it's important to understand if you fit into one of those groups that what you're experiencing may actually be related to the heart.
Gotcha. Now, what conditions or diseases that people get or can get that contribute to heart disease?
Sure. The main diseases that contribute to heart disease, number one, I would say, is diabetes. Diabetes, especially uncontrolled diabetes, and in fact, cardiologists treat uncontrolled diabetes as a heart disease equivalent.
Okay.
So folks that have poorly controlled diabetes, it's very important to understand that it needs to be controlled and you need to talk to your doctor and manage that effectively. Other diseases would be high cholesterol and hypertension, high blood pressure.
Well, now, what things can I do to, I'm old and gone, forget me, but anyway, but younger people, what can young folks do, or anybody, to prevent having cardiovascular disease?
Well, every year Americans will suffer from more than 1.5 million heart attacks and strokes. The good news is, though, that there are things that we can all do to decrease our risk. Number one is leading a healthy lifestyle. What does that mean? Well, exercise, moving your body. The American Heart Association recommends 150 minutes of physical activity per week, which if you do the math is about 30 minutes a day of a moderate intensity exercise, which is a brisk walk, water aerobics, dancing, those types of things. Get your heart rate up, get your respiratory rate up, sweat a little bit. Another thing that's important is not smoking. Smoking is terrible for your coronary arteries. It's bad for your body in general.
Well, yeah, I always think about it's bad for your lungs, but you're saying bad for the heart.
Right, yeah. Almost a third of cardiovascular events can be attributed to smoking or secondhand smoke.
Let me catch you off guard here before we lose time, because since you and I just met, who or what led you to a career in healthcare? Did you have a doctor in the family or what?
Yeah, it's a good question. Some doctors in the family, but that really wasn't what did it. I was actually a business major when I started, when I graduated from college. I knew I wanted to work with people, but I didn't really like the business sales side of things, and so was gravitated toward medicine because of my want to help people and not have a desk job and deal with folks on a regular basis.
Right, and you're helping people, and I'm glad you made that decision. We're all better off for you being a doctor instead of a business major, but all right. Okay, so anyway, before we lose time here, up on screen, novonhealth.org is a general website, but let me also get a plug in for Novon Health Cardiology Kernersville, and the number there is 996-7076. Doc, will you come back sometime?
Be happy to.
Thanks a lot
Thanks
for all
man.
you do. I appreciate it. We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire. Back now on Triad Today, and you know what we're going to talk about now for a few minutes? Mentoring of all sorts, and really as it hones in on helping kids. And I want to talk to an expert in this field. She's been a guest on the show many times before. We welcome back Brandy Kennedy. She's Vice President of Post-Secondary Initiatives at Shift Ed. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again, Jim.
Let's start first by talking in general about something called the SEO Scholars Program, in case people haven't seen you on here before. What is that, and who's a good fit for it?
Yeah, so the SEO Scholars Program is a free 8-year academic program that helps students get to and through college. So this program is a hybrid program that is based out of New York, that also has replica sites in San Francisco, and North Carolina is the first hybrid site. So this program is intended for Guilford County Schools 9th grade students, and we begin working with them in their 9th grade year, and we work with them to get to and through college.
Yeah, catch them early, because I remember seeing a report years and years and years ago. This shows how old I am. I'm 100 years old, but I remember the first reports you see coming out were that's the age, 9th grade, where a lot of kids make the decision to drop out or stay in. And I just think it's great what y'all are doing to catch them at that age and work with them. How can folks in the community get involved with SEO Scholars?
Yeah, so SEO Scholars, as I mentioned, it is for 9th grade students who attend a public Guilford County school, high school. However, community members can get involved for the opportunity to mentor those scholars. So,
and you've had some, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you've had some mentoring sessions that, and what I want to ask you about that with is, why are mentors so important, especially for kids that age?
Yeah, so mentorship is important. I'm a product of mentors. Many of us are a product of mentors, but mentors are important because oftentimes they provide us an opportunity to expand our network, but also to learn things that we may not listen to from our parents or our family member, or provide new perspective, whether that's professionally or just related to navigating the college application process specifically for SEO Scholars.
Right, and can anybody help and be a mentor and get involved with what you're doing?
Yeah, so please check us out on social media, Shift Ed SEO Scholars, and people have the opportunity to apply to become a mentor. If you check out our YouTube page, we do have a recorded information session about the opportunity to serve as a mentor for SEO Scholars, but you could also reach out to myself or any team member.
Do I have to be like, Brandy, do I have to be like an expert in math or an expert in social studies or something like that to apply?
No, you don't have to be an expert in academics, but we do ask that we are like centering young professionals or any age professionals, so maybe 23 and up, to mentor those students. But we do ask that they are a professional within the community and that they have attended either a 2 or 4 year college.
Now, this same question for both things, whether I'm a student that wants to get involved with SEO Scholars or whether I'm an adult who wants to be a mentor. Can you apply for these things any time of the year, 24/7, or is there a specific window of opportunity?
Yeah, so I'll start out with the SEO Scholar Program for 9th grade students. So currently we're actively accepting applications. Our application opens September 1st for GCS 9th grade students, and they will run through December 8th. So annually, that application has that timeline because those students will begin programming in the spring semester.
Right. Then what about the adults you might want to mentor? Is that something year-round? They can go to the website or whatever and do it, or do you just have certain times a year you take them?
Yeah, that's a great question. We do want to ensure that the mentor that is paired with the SEO Scholar is actually someone who could commit to a year-long commitment. And so what that means is that we are currently accepting applications. We begin accepting applications in August, and they begin mentoring in October. So August 1st through October 1st is when our application will remain open for mentors.
Right, I think that's great. Now, you already mentioned this, but let me put this up on screen. To learn more information or to apply for SEO Scholars or to apply and say, hey, I'm interested in being a mentor, you can go to shifted.org/SEO scholars, shifted.org/SEO scholars. And I really hope that you will do that. And Brandy, it's going pretty well with these programs, isn't it?
Yes, it's going great. If you want to learn more about SEO Scholars, feel free to join us October 1st at Guilford Technical Community College, Jamestown, at the Corey Auditorium at 6 p.m. to learn more. If that was too much for you, just visit our website and you can find a link to register there for that event.
October 1st. That's something to look forward to. Yes. I hope everybody will do that. We'll be right back after this.
North Carolina's economy is growing, bringing new businesses and opportunities. The need for electricity is growing too. At Duke Energy, we're meeting the challenge, providing even more electricity that's cleaner, reliable, and that stays affordable. We're getting out of coal and reinvesting in our communities with a diverse, balanced mix of energy sources and making targeted upgrades to the grid so that North Carolina can thrive in a smarter energy future.
Baby, watch me fly. Baby, watch me soar. Baby, watch me fly. I will open up the sky.
Fly local, fly easy, fly PTI.
Back now on Triad Today, this is a first for me. I've been doing this for 55 years. I've never had a city manager, two assistant city managers all sitting together, which begs the question, who's running the city while they're sitting here? But anyway, our good friend Pat Pate is with us, and city manager Winston-Salem. He brought along two friends of his, two assistant city managers, Sharon Voida and Angel Wright Lanier. Good to see all of you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Pat, let me start with you. What are your top priorities or goals for Winston-Salem in 2025?
Well, we're really looking forward to 2025. We're going to be working with council on, because we've got a new council now, working on a strategic planning program with them, but we'll be working on basic services for the community, looking at making sure we've got good quality of life issues dealt with, that our infrastructure is in place that we need, making sure that we have all those things that the community is looking for and getting just good basic services from the city.
Well, I'm going to embarrass the ladies. I'll go to them in just a second. Let me embarrass them and put you on the spot. What do the two of them, Sharon and Angel, bring to the table that will help you attain those goals?
I appreciate you asking that. Angel and Sharon are the two newest hires into the office. So I do have at least a couple of assistants back there working on winter preparations right at the moment.
That's right.
But both of these ladies bring a tremendous amount of expertise coming into the city from outside. Both of them have extensive experience in local government. Angel's got a lot of experience in the legislative side of the House, working on those kind of priorities that we'll be dealing with and working with housing, and she's also working with the police department.
Right.
Sharon brings a wealth of experience from the West Coast, and so she has a lot of background in some of our operating areas of finance, and she's spending a lot of time with human resources at the moment, and she's going to bring some real exciting, I think, opportunities to us.
I want both of you to answer this for me. And I don't mean this to be condescending or sexist in any way, just because I'm in my 70s and I don't know any better. But seriously, you guys are in a position that's not easily attainable traditionally by women. So what advice do you give to young women or women of any age who say, I'd love to be in city government, in municipal government? What do you say to them?
I say seek out people that have done the work before. I have had some great mentors. Tasha Logan Ford is one of those. She's currently the city manager in High Point.
Yep.
I met her when I went to Goldsboro as an assistant city manager, and she sought me out, and I've walked with her for 15 years now.
Well, kind of a mentorship relationship.
Absolutely.
There with that. Yeah, Sharon?
I think the advice I would give women is, too often, I think women are hesitant to apply for jobs and think they need to meet every single kind of checklist and criteria in a job posting. Mm-hmm. And my advice is be your own advocate. If there's something you're interested in, go for it. You never know what doors are going to be opened just by going through that application process. And I think along the lines of what Angel said, an advice I would give anyone is look for those other people that are in leadership roles that you want to aspire to, kind of learn from their management styles, leadership styles, and kind of apply that to your
Right.
current role.
And for both of you again, Angel, what attracted you to want to come to a position in Winston-Salem? Why are you excited about it?
I was excited about it. I came to visit before I actually, before he even called me.
Right.
And I really love the area. I love the neighborhoods. I live downtown and I love downtown. And I like the opportunity to have an impact on affordable housing, as well as I'm really excited when he gave me the police department. I was very interested in working with the youth and crime is going down anyway, but I really want to make an impact on youth crime.
That's a real key element in prevention. Same
Absolutely.
thing.
And I think what excites me most about Winston-Salem and coming to this role is there's a lot of opportunity for change right now. As Pat mentioned, we've got 3 new city councilors. Pat's been in his role about a year. Angel and I are new. We have a new city attorney. So there's just a lot of opportunity for kind of growth and change. And I think people are really open to that and open to some new ideas and ways of doing things.
Proud of this team, huh?
Absolutely. I feel very fortunate to have brought both of these ladies into the city of Winston-Salem as a part of our team.
I appreciate that. And up on the screen, let me put this up on the screen, www.cityofws.org. Cityofws.org is the general website when you can find out more information. And I just appreciate all that the 3 of you are doing. And Pat, thanks for this. This will be the first of a series of spots we're going to do this year.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to highlighting all the great attributes of things that are going on in the city this year, and looking forward to doing that with you.
And a belated Happy New Year again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you to catch my column Longworth at Large and Yes Weekly every week. It's available throughout the Triad, or you can go online, yesweekly.com. Back now on Triad Today, time for the roundtable just about, but I want to give a quick shout out to the good folks here at Senior Botanical Garden. Check out the website, come on out to the garden. It is a happy place, and it's happy here. And we have these 3 guys, actually a visitor to the roundtable for the first time, but you saw him earlier in the show. Next to Ogie Overman is Zach Matheny, head of Downtown Greensboro, Inc., and we're so glad he stayed over for the roundtable, and Keith Granberry, founder of Helping Hands Consultants. All right, guys, the Surgeon General says that alcohol is now a leading cause of cancer, 20,000 preventable deaths each year. He wants Congress to require a cancer warning on the label of any alcoholic bottles, drinks. Do you think Congress should mandate cancer warnings on booze? And if they do, will it make a difference, Okie?
I don't think so, Jim. I think it won't amount to a hill of beans. If, man want to drink, man's going to drink.
Zach?
I agree with Ogie. I mean, you can do it, but it's going to probably not move the needle.
So, but do you think it would pass? Do you think it will get on the labels?
Probably not in this Congress.
All right,
No.
Keith.
It's not going to get on the labels, not going to make a difference. People still smoking cigarettes.
Well, that's true. All right, we now know that President Biden gave all federal employees the day off on Christmas Eve. I just found out about this a couple days after Christmas. Gave them the day off on Christmas Eve, which begs the questions, would you guys like to see Christmas Eve designated as a federal holiday? Ogie?
I really would. I've been saying it for years. I think it's a great idea. You need Christmas Eve off.
Zach, and you know, you work with small businesses a lot. A lot of them will say, go ahead and take off at 3 o'clock, or let's go early on Christmas Eve. Should we have a federal holiday and just do it?
I'm biased about this because my birthday is Christmas Eve. And I would say yes. And, going back to what our conversation was a little while ago, that would give people that last minute shopping. They could go support those small businesses and get some last minute pickups and spend more time with their family and loved ones. Let's do it.
Hey, that's interesting. Keith, federal holiday?
Well, if everybody's off, then nobody's able to go to the stores. Am I correct?
Yeah,
so I don't think
Zach would make sure there were some people in the stores. Yeah. All right.
So
Last
I say
week,
no.
now this is a serious one here, and it's a weird story. Last week, a 10-year-old Georgia boy decided to take a walk from his house. He didn't go very far, just around the corner, but police picked him up, took him home, and arrested his mother for, quote, reckless endangerment of a minor because she did not know exactly where her child had been. Georgia officials are now strictly enforcing this law in an effort to prevent kidnappings and missing person reports. Guys, is this a good idea or an overreaction? Ogie?
I think it's an overreaction, Jim. I know I live in the past, but, when we were kids, we'd hop on our bikes Saturday morning and not come home at dinner time, and nobody thought anything of it.
Right. Zach, what do you think?
Overreaction, no question. I was 8 years old. I left my grandmother's house in Rutherford County, walked up to the C-store and walked back. Now, I got a switch when I got home, but, it was okay, and I was in a rural area. I think this is an extreme overreaction.
Keith, is it really child endangerment? Is it a good law that they're doing in Georgia, or an overreaction?
I think we don't need the police dictating what is a law or not. I think that's totally overreacting.
All right, an increasing number of lawsuits are being filed against bars and restaurants simply for offering discounts to women or hosting ladies' nights events. Prosecutors in California, for example, and this applies in 22 states actually, prosecutors in California say that such events and discounts discriminate against men. Guys, do you think free drinks or discounts for women should be outlawed, Ogie?
No, that's absurd. I mean, come on. That's what brings the men in. Everybody knows that. Ladies' night, and then they hang around. Here come the men. Is after. Come on.
Right, Zach.
Who is the federal government to dictate how somebody runs their business?
Yeah.
This is an overreaction.
Does it discriminate against men, Keith?
I think whoever said this should go to jail themselves.
All right.
How are you going to have an event without women? Who does that?
Well, I guess none of us for. CNN reports an increasing number of rural school districts around the country are experimenting with a 4-day school week. Educators hope this shorter work week will help attract and retain teachers. Good idea or bad idea? And would you like to see North Carolina schools do the same thing, 4-day school week? Ogie.
Well, on the surface, it sounds okay, but then I'm thinking kids' attention span, that's like a 10-hour day, kind of.
Yeah.
Almost.
All right.
And I don't know if a kid's attention span will allow them to do that.
4-day school week, Zach?
No, I'm an only parent. I have 2 kids in school that are 12 and 14. Am I going to work a 4-day week? No. I work Fridays. I work 5 days a week. And if you do that, what am I going to do about child care? It's going to cost me more money.
Keith, 4-day school week?
Yeah, I agree with him. I think it needs to be 5 days. That's going to hurt a lot of parents.
Right. Finally, according to a new study, an increasing number of people now believe that tarot cards can actually predict their future. Guys, have you ever had your fortune told? And if so, what did you learn, Ogie?
I have, yeah.
Did
I
you
went
really?
to a steampunk party one time, and there was a fortune teller there, and she wasn't doing any business, and I gave her $10 to read my,
No, what did you learn?
Nothing.
Didn't learn anything.
No.
Zach, you ever had your fortune?
I've had my fortune told, but not by a tarot card. So no, I'm good on that. I don't do that.
You didn't learn anything?
I don't do that.
Keith, has a woman ever told your fortune?
Yeah, a lot of women have told me. That's before that's not right now. That's a long time ago. But I didn't mean it that way.
I didn't mean fortune.
I mean a long time ago.
I meant future. I didn't mean fortune.
No,
there have been some women that have gone after your fortune. Some women have gone after Keith's fortune.
That's long time ago.
Yeah.
All
right,
long time ago.
That's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. Recently, the 74-year-old UNC football coach Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend, 50 years younger, they were at this event at the Natural History Museum in New York. They had their photograph taken in front of a dinosaur. Hey, I love old things, she said. I don't know what that means. All right, for all of us here, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.